In a time of kings, in a land of faith, there was a city of peace. But peace is a fragile thing. When empires hunger, innocence is the first casualty. From the ashes of a fallen kingdom, a new story will be written. In the heart of the empire, one will be tested by fire and by lions. In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it, and the Lord gave Jehoiakim into his hand. And the king commanded that some of the people of Israel, from the royal family and the nobility, be brought to Babylon. Youths without blemish, of good appearance and skillful in all wisdom, endowed with knowledge, understanding, and competent to stand in the king's palace. Among these were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah of the tribe of Judah. They were to be educated for 3 years in the literature and language of the Chaldeans. And the king assigned for them a daily portion of the food that the king ate. But Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself with the king's food or with the wine that he drank. "I fear my lord the king, who assigned your food and your drink. For why should he see that you are in worse condition than the other youths your age? So you would endanger my head with the king." Daniel says,
"Test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our appearance and the appearance of the youths who eat the king's food be observed by you, and deal with your servants according to what you see."
So he listened to them in this matter and tested them for 10 days. At the end of 10 days, it was seen that they were better in appearance and fatter in flesh than all the youths who ate the king's food. At the end of the time, the king commanded that they should be brought in, and the king spoke with them. And among all of them, none was found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah in every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king inquired of them. He found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters that were in all his kingdom. In the 2nd year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams. His spirit was troubled, and his sleep left him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, the enchanters, the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans to tell the king his dreams. But he demanded they first tell him the dream itself, for the thing had gone from him. Wise man's says,
"Tell your servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. There is not a man on earth who can meet the king's demand."
Then the king, in his violent rage, commanded that all the wise men of Babylon be destroyed. So the decree went out, and the wise men were about to be killed, and they sought Daniel and his companions to kill them. Then Daniel replied with prudence and discretion to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard. Daniel went to his house and made the matter known to his friends, and told them to seek mercy from the God of heaven concerning this mystery, so that they might not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a vision of the night. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven.
"Blessed be the name of God, forever and ever. To whom belong wisdom and might. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with him."
Daniel went before the king and said,
"No wise men, enchanters, magicians, or astrologers can show to the king the mystery that the king has asked.
But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries, and he has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the latter days."
You saw, O king, and behold, a great image. This image, mighty and of exceeding brightness, stood before you, and its appearance was frightening. The head of this image was of fine gold, its chest and arms of silver, its middle and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of clay.
As you looked, a stone was cut out by no human hand, and it struck the image on its feet of iron and clay and broke them in pieces. But the stone that struck The image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This was the dream. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and paid homage to Daniel and commanded that an offering and incense be offered up to him. Nebuchadnezzar's voice, full of awe.
Truly, your God is God of gods and Lord of kings, and a revealer of mysteries, for you have been able to reveal this mystery.
Then the king gave Daniel high honors and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon. Daniel made a request of the king, and he appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel remained at the king's court, his heart and mind fixed on the God who holds all kingdoms in his hand. King Nebuchadnezzar, his heart filled with pride from the interpretation of his dream, sought to solidify his eternal glory. He commanded a colossal golden statue to be erected on the plain of Dura. He then summoned the satraps, prefects, governors, counselors, treasurers, justices, magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication. And a herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music, you are to fall down and worship the golden image. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall immediately be cast into a burning fiery furnace." The decree echoed across the plain, a test of allegiance, not just to a king, but to a god. The music swelled, a symphony of forced adoration, and as one, the empire bowed, all but three. Defiance breeds envy, and in the hearts of jealous men, an opportunity was seen. At once, they came forward and maliciously accused the Jews.
O king, live forever. There are certain Jews whom you have appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, pay no attention to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up.
Then Nebuchadnezzar, in furious rage, commanded that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought. So they brought these men before the king, and Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image?" Shadrach says,
"O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If this be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us from your hand, O king."
Shadrach continues,
But if not, be it known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up.
Then Nebuchadnezzar was filled with fury, and the expression of his face was changed. He ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times more than usual, and he commanded some of the strongest men in his army to bind them and cast them into the furnace. Because the king's order was urgent, and the furnace overheated, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and these 3 men fell bound into the burning fiery furnace. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished and rose up in haste. He declared to his counselors, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire?" They answered and said to the king, "True, O king." Nebuchadnezzar's filled with shock. "But I see 4 men, unbound, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the appearance of the 4th is like a son of the gods." Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the door of the burning fiery furnace, and he, calling out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out and come here." And the satraps, the prefects, the governors, and the king's counselors gathered together and saw that the fire had not had any power over the bodies of those men. The hair of their heads was not singed, their cloaks were not harmed, and no smell of fire had come upon them. Then Nebuchadnezzar's "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him. Therefore I make a decree. Any people nation, or language that speaks anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be torn limb from limb, and their houses laid in ruins, for there is no other God who is able to rescue in this way." Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon, and the fame of their God and the faithfulness of his servants became legend throughout the empire. King Nebuchadnezzar was at rest in his house and flourishing in his palace. The kingdom was secure, his power absolute, but peace would not last. He saw a dream that made him afraid. As he lay in his bed, the fancies and visions of his head alarmed him. Therefore he made a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon, that they might make known to him the interpretation of the dream. But they could not make known to him the interpretation. At last, Daniel came in before the king, he whom the king named Belteshazzar, after the name of his God, and in whom was the spirit of the holy gods. Nebuchadnezzar,
I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and its height was great. The tree grew and became strong, and its top reached to heaven, and it was visible to the end of the whole earth. Its leaves were beautiful, and its fruit abundant, and in it was food for all. The beasts of the field found shade under it, and the birds of the heavens lived in its branches. I saw in the visions of my head, as I lay in bed, and behold, a watcher, a holy one, came down from heaven, chopped down the tree, and lop off its branches, strip off its leaves, and scatter its fruit. Let the beasts flee from under it, and the birds from its branches. But leave the stump of its roots in the earth, bound with a band of iron and bronze, in the tender grass of the field. Let him be wet with the dew of heaven. Let his portion be with the beasts, in the grass of the earth. Let his mind be changed from a man's, and let a beast's mind be given to him, and let 7 periods of time pass over him.
Then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was dismayed for a while, and his thoughts alarmed him. Nebuchadnezzar, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation alarm you. Daniel says, My Lord, may the dream be for those who hate you, and its interpretation for your enemies, the tree you saw, which grew and became strong. It is you, O king. You have grown and become strong. Your greatness has grown and reaches to heaven, and your dominion to the ends of the earth. This is the interpret made, to eat grass like an ox, until you know that the Most High rules the kingdom of men, and gives it to whom he will. Therefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable to you. Break off your sins by practicing righteousness, and your iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, that there may be a lengthening of your prosperity. Then all this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of 12 months, he was walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon.
Is not this great Babylon, which I have built by my mighty power, as a royal residence, and for the glory of my majesty?
While the words were still in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven.
O King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is spoken, the kingdom has departed from you.
And the word was fulfilled. Immediately, he was driven from among men. He ate grass like an ox, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hair grew as long as eagle's feathers, and his nails were like potted birds' claws. At the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven, and my reason returned to me. And I blessed the Most High, and praised and honored him who lives forever, for his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom endures from generation to generation. At the same time, my reason returned to me, and for the glory of my kingdom, my majesty and splendor returned to me. My counselors and my lords sought me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added to me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, for all his works are right, and his ways are just. and those who walk in pride he is able to humble.